A long, long time ago, in a quiet mountain village where the mist curled around the tall trees like soft blankets, two little boys were born. They were twins. Their names were Muichiro and Yuichiro Tokito. Their family was simple, just woodcutters who lived from the strength of their hands and the kindness of their hearts. They weren't warriors, they weren't wealthy, they weren't anyone special in the world's eyes. But to each other, they were everything. Life should have been peaceful, but fate was cruel. Their mother fell gravely ill. She burned with fever, coughing so hard her frail body trembled. Their father, desperate to save her, braved a raging storm to go down the mountain for medicine. The winds roared, the rain lashed down, and in the darkness he slipped from a cliff. He never came home again. And only a few days later, their mother, too, closed her eyes forever. So the two little boys, still so small, barely able to fend for themselves, were left utterly alone in the world. Now, although Muichiro and Yuichiro were twins, their hearts were very different. Yuichiro, the older one, changed after their parents' deaths. He became sharp, cold, and harsh. To him, kindness seemed like weakness. To survive, you had to harden your heart at least. That's what he believed. He often lashed out at his little brother. "Mu," he would say, "your name means nothingness, useless. You're soft, you're kind, you're weak. People like you can't live in this world." Those words cut deep, like a blade. But Muichiro, sweet Muichiro, never stopped being gentle. He would pick herbs to help sick villagers, share food even when they barely had enough, and always tried to smile. He wanted to believe that there was still light, even in their dark little cabin in the mountains. Yuichiro pushed him away, scolded him, acted like he didn't care. But deep down, deep down, he loved his brother fiercely. It was just that grief had frozen his heart, and he didn't know how to show that love anymore. Then came the night that shattered everything. It was summer, the cicadas screamed in the trees, and the heavy air clung to the wooden cabin. Suddenly, a shadow tore through their door. A demon horrid, monstrous, with claws gleaming in the moonlight. The brothers had no weapons, no training, just fear. But Yuichiro didn't hesitate. With only his bare hands, he threw himself at the demon to protect his brother. His courage was bright, but his body was only human. The claws ripped through him, and blood stained the floor. Muichiro froze. His world spun, and then something inside him broke. That gentle, kind boy was gone for a moment. Rage, pure rage, surged up like fire. His hands grabbed the nearest axe, and with a scream torn from his soul, he charged. Blow after blow, the axe came down, his small arms fueled not by strength, but by fury and desperation. Again and again, until the demon's body lay in pieces across the floor. The danger was gone, but Yuichiro was dying. His voice was weak, trembling, but his eyes were clear. "Mu, you're not useless. Don't ever believe that. Mu can mean infinity. You can be endlessly strong. Live for both of us." And with that, Yuichiro's hand slipped from his brother's, and his breath faded into silence. That night, Muichiro lost his brother, but gained a seed of strength words that would echo in his soul forever. Years passed. Muichiro grew, his once fragile body hardening through training, his heart learning to bury the grief beneath calm mist. He joined the Demon Slayer Corps, mastering the unique and elegant breath of mist. His swordplay was like fog itself, dancing, vanishing, impossible to grasp. He rose through the ranks and became a Hashira, one of the strongest warriors of them all. Then came the Swordsmith village arc. The village was under attack, demons everywhere, and among them was a terrible foe. Upper Moon 5, Gyokko. Gyokko's body was twisted and bizarre, like a broken vase covered in glaring eyes. From his pots, he could summon grotesque fish demons and prisons of water, trapping victims inside to suffocate. And that's where Muichiro found himself. One moment he was fighting, blade flashing. The next, he was sealed in one of Gyokko's water prisons. The liquid pressed against his lungs, crushing him, cutting off his air. His vision blurred. His strength slipped away. For the first time in years, despair clawed at him. But then, a voice rose in the back of his mind. "Mu, you're too kind. You'll die like this." "No, Mu. Mu means infinity. You can become endlessly strong." Yuichiro's voice. The memory of his brother's blood, his final words, the night of fire and loss, it all came flooding back, burning away the fog in his mind. Muichiro's heart blazed, his eyes sharpened. With one final surge, he swung his blade. The water prison cracked crash and shattered into droplets that fell like rain. The Mist Hashira stood again, his aura transformed. No longer a boy drowning in his past, but a warrior who embraced it. Gyokko shrieked and unleashed everything he had, summoning wave after wave of hideous monsters. But Muichiro moved like true mist, appearing, vanishing, slicing. His blade was everywhere and nowhere, cutting down fish demons like smoke drifting through sunlight. And then, in a single unstoppable strike, his sword found Gyokko's neck. The upper moon's head tumbled to the ground, his body dissolving into ash. Breathing hard, Muichiro looked up at the misty sky. For the first time in so long, his lips curved in the faintest smile. "See, brother? I lived. I became the infinity you believed in." And though a tear slid down his cheek, his heart felt lighter than it had in years. And so, Muichiro Tokito, the boy who had been called useless, rose from despair, found strength in his brother's love, and awakened the boundless power within him.